back. All right, I am super excited. Today I'm going to show you how to do some fun free motion feathers on this adorable quilt. Now, I should be a little bit embarrassed to even tell you this, but I'm going to because maybe you can relate. So I actually was asked by my friends at Moda Fabrics years and years and years, actually 15 years plus ago, to design a quilt. And the focus or the big question that they kind of challenged me with was how to use these panel pieces. So these pieces over here were like printed on a panel. This is French General fabric from years ago, but they were printed, and kind of the goal was how do you incorporate these panel pieces into a quilt but make it a little bit more modern. So the idea that I came up with was to make it kind of look like it was inset as a film strip through this quilt, and then use all the prints in the collection as strips through the quilt. Created it, and it ended up being my very first quilt that was on the cover. It was the back cover, but it was the first quilt I ever had on the cover of a magazine. So it is a very special quilt to me. I pieced it, and for some reason it went into a tote and has sat there for years and years and years. And this week I was like, you know what? It's time. I am going to quilt this quilt for myself. You've probably seen a few videos I've shared recently. I just had a moment in time where I needed to quilt for myself. Anyway, so through the strips on this quilt, I am quilting different motifs, and I am going to be sharing a full video over in the PNQ Academy where I share all the details about all the custom machine quilting I'm doing on this incredible quilt. Make sure you check out the PNQ Academy. But today I'm going to bring you down here, and like I said, we're going to be free motion quilting a simple feather. So let's hop down here. So on this particular feather, I don't have to worry about any corners or anything like that. All I need to worry about is quilting this feather here inside of this strip. I'm not measuring, I'm not doing any marking, but I am starting out here by stitching my spine, which is just a simple wavy line that I'm waving kind of to the center-ish of this space. So once I've stitched this spine all the way across, I should mention before we do get into the quilting, I am using So Fine color number 452 thread here on this quilt, so it stands out really nice here on the fabric. But I'm also using one layer of the Quilter's Dream blend batting. This is not one that I show you often. It's a really, really low loft batting, so I don't have quite as much texture as a lot of quilts that I show you. But on this particular quilt, that's exactly what I wanted, was a little bit less lofted. Now I'm ready to start stitching out that feather. So I stitched the spine. My idea for these feathers, because I have this going here kind of through the side of the quilt, everything is coming out from here. So over on the right side of the quilt, when I quilt those feathers, they will be going towards the right side. These are all going towards the left. You can see some of them up there. Anyway, so I'm going to quilt a bump bag style here. I do go more in depth into this in my class, Foundations for Free Motion Quilting Feathers, but I do think you'll find a little bit of inspiration here. So I'll start out by stitching that first teardrop shaped feather, and then from there I start building upon it. I love the look of a really playful feather, so you'll notice as I'm quilting these out, my whole goal is to fill in this space completely, and sometimes I might have to fill in with small feathers. I'll show you that as we go. So occasionally I'll have a space like this one right here that's kind of an awkward space. That's where I'm going to add in that small feather. So I'll add in a small one, and then I'll start building around that, which I think creates a lot of interest. All right, so I'm going to keep repeating those feathers, working all the way across this top side, and then we'll quilt the bottom side. Okay, so I've worked all the way across the top there, and I actually stitched in the ditch to travel back over here. I do have other videos about stitch on the ditch, so make sure you check out those. Anyways, let's start out here and fill in that bottom side using that same concept. So I'll start here with that first teardrop and then just start wrapping around it. I hope you found a bit of inspiration from the machine quilting on that feather. I love machine quilting feathers for a long time. I believed, probably like a lot of you, that feathers had to be perfect. And when I finally let go of the notion that feathers had to be perfect, they became one of my favorite, after machine quilting with rulers, things to do. I really love them. Obviously, I use super high contrast thread here to really make them stand out. Most quilts, if it was a client quilt, not my own quilt, I probably would have gone through and changed thread colors. But on my quilt, I get to do whatever I want. Like I said, I do have a full class on feathers called Foundations for Free Motion Quilting Feathers. You can find all the details, plus enroll in that class on our website. But before you do that, make sure you check out the Petite École Academy, where I'll be sharing my full process of quilting this quilt. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because I will be back soon with another machine quilting video. See you later.